Is a starting quarterback today.
Well, Ron, they were getting no production out of the quarterback position. Tavares Jackson had a good offseason, a good camp, and they really felt like he was the guy to complement Adrian Peterson in this great running.
Gus Frerotte, he is a starting quarterback today.
Well, Ron, they were getting no production out of the quarterback position. Tavares Jackson had a good offseason, a good camp, and they really felt like he was the guy to complement Adrian Peterson in this great running game. But he was not making the routine plays, wasn't moving the chains. They needed someone to come in and give a spark to this offense and bring some sort of passing game, and that's why Gus Frerott's now the starter.
Meanwhile, the flip side, Carolina Panthers, a lot of people thought they would be the preseason favorite. I mean, didn't expect much from them, and they're turning out to be the preseason favorite. And now you look at them, and they're 2-0, and they're going to get Steve Smith back.
Ron, if you'd have told these guys a month ago when they found out Steve Smith was going to be suspended that they'd be 2-0 after facing San Diego and Chicago on the road, they'd be very, very happy. They get him back. He's the guy that brings that explosiveness to this team. They have a good running game, but they need the big play threat Steve Smith brings.
Now it's time for our Microsoft keys to the game. Break it down, Tony.
Well, if you're the Carolina Panthers, you come into the Dome, a loud place like you said, wrong, and they got to match the intensity of the Vikings. The Vikings are desperate, and they better come out fast. And then Minnesota, they just got to find the balance. They can run the ball on anybody. Any production they get out of Gus Frerotte is a plus.
Kickoff. The Vikings and the Panthers coming up next.
Hello, I'm a PC, and I've been made into a stereotype.
I'm a PC, and I'm not what you call hip.
I'm a PC, and I wear glasses.
I wear glasses.
Hey, I wear glasses.
I wear jeans, and I study jeans.
And I design jeans.
And I design green buildings.
I'm a PC, and I study the law.
And I practice the law.
And I challenge the law.
I'm a PC, and I blog for Obama.
And I broadcast for McCain. And I have a beard.
I'm a PC and I have 3 rings.
I'm a PC and I have 1 ring.
I turn number 2 into energy.
I'm a PC and I want to protect peace.
I'm a PC and I'm connected to more than 1 billion others worldwide.
Roger that, Houston. I'm a PC.
And my name is Roger. I'm a PC.
I'm a PC. I'm a PC.
Yeah, I'm a PC too.
I'm a PC and a human being. Not a human doing, not a human thinking, a human being.
I'm a PC and I sell fish.
I need to know what it is I'm dealing with.
When you're ready, there are things in our world.
I'm scared of what's going to happen on the bus.
Beyond our ability to explain.
Then psychic.
And here we go.
Critics rave Fringe is the best new show of the fall, where anything is possible.
What's happening?
No idea. I'm extremely interested to find out.
Fringe, viewer discretion advised. An all-new episode after House, Tuesday at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Going where no man has gone before.
Let me tell you, brother, I think every man's gone there before.
Baby, they stole my beer!
You fed Crystal. We'll kill a Doberman.
Should he?
2 in the back of the head.
It ain't easy being king.
Sons of Anarchy.
Why even ask?
No. No, you don't.
All new this week, only on FX. You're watching Fox Sports in HD, presented by DirecTV.
We're Claremont and Nancy Anderson, and we live in Hoffman, Minnesota. We're the parents of Major Stuart M. Anderson, who was killed in Iraq.
You always figure that your sons and daughters will bury you. You don't have to bury them.
I just blame the bad policies on President Bush, Norm Coleman, who voted for this.
Norm's got to go. He's got to go.
The Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is outrageous.
Al Franken backs a bill to take away your private vote in union elections.
I'm not going to go vote in November without a secret ballot. Why would I do that for a union?
I think card check is an invasion of our privacy.
Without privacy, there's intimidation. Card check is totally against our rights and liberties as Americans.
Tell Al Franken, don't take away our private vote. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is responsible for the content of this advertising.
As Americans, we are entitled to a private vote.
Create the bathroom of your dreams at Menards. Broan medicine cabinets are a beautiful reflection of you and your bath. These oak or beveled oval styles are just $69. This extra large cabinet with glass shelves is $99. Tub surrounds from American Shower and Bath are long-lasting and easy to install. This Vantage model has a high-gloss finish and 6 shelves, just $69. The Sturdy Fit has plenty of storage and is extra thick, $139.
Save big money at Menards.
It could be the biggest scientific breakthrough in history, but is it worth the risk? French scientists recreating the physics behind the Big Bang Theory. Find out what it means for us Tuesday on Fox 9 News at 9.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The Panthers have won the toss. They will receive, and we are ready for kickoff here in Minnesota. Let's go down to the third member of our crew, Carissa Thompson.
Well, guys, all eyes were on Adrian Peterson as he did his pregame warm-up. He was only out here for about 10 minutes, did a series of stretches, ran at both half and full speed, but Ron, as you outlined before the game, before the break that we just took, he has been given the go. Expect him to take the field with his offensive unit and look to give the Vikings their first win of the season.
Adrian Peterson, bothered by that hamstring, the leading rusher in the NFL. Kind of a tough call, Tony, because you don't want to lose him, have that hamstring snap, and lose him for the rest of the year, but you're 0-2.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're 0-2. You lose this game, the rest of the year might not matter. It is a long season, but Adrian Peterson, smart guy. He knows his body better than anybody.
Ryan Longwell gets us going. That's the rookie. Jonathan Stewart at the goal line. He's been very active on regular offense, and he's active here with a great return out past the 35-yard line. Driven out by Longwell. And there's the man, Jake Delhomme. Feeling good, looking good, coming off of that Tommy John elbow surgery, and he's been spectacular as his team is 2-0 heading into this game. Jeff Otah, the rookie, Tony, I know you like him at that right tackle position.
Big baller. I love watching that guy, that young guy play, and he's going to get after Ray Edwards. It'll be a good matchup. Ray Edwards is a good defensive end, the left defensive end for the Vikings.
And Steve Smith is back after a 2-game team-imposed suspension. He's up top. Thank you. Play action. First time out, and there he is, Steve Smith. That's 10 yards and a first down and a late marker. That will probably be a face mask penalty. Working on Cedric Griffin.
Jake Delhomme talked about how they needed the explosiveness of Steve Smith. They didn't have that big-time, big-play threat when he was out. You could just tell how excited Jake Delhomme was to get him, and they go to him right away.
Personal foul, face mask, number 23, 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Our referee, John Perry, with the first call today.
And watch Steve Smith work. If he's working against Cedric Griffin today, Cedric Griffin really struggled last week. Anthony Gonzalez had a huge day, and Anthony Gonzalez is a good player, but he's not Steve Smith. Look for that matchup and look for the Carolina Panthers to try to exploit that today.
Steve Smith told me before the game, I just have to come out here and not feel like I got to make a play right off the top. And what does he do? He goes out and makes a play on the first play. Another pass intended for Rosario, but it's overthrown. The Minnesota Vikings defense last year, they were number 1 in the NFL against the rush, and the guys up front have a lot to do with it, particularly the Williams guys, Pat Williams and Kevin Williams, the 2 Pro Bowlers. But don't forget about Jared Allen coming over in a trade from Kansas City this year. E.J. Henderson, the middle linebacker, their leading tackler last year, will make a lot of tackles. And that green outline tells you he was wearing the new defensive communication device. He can talk to the sidelines. D'Angelo Williams, not much. Might have lost. They call it no gain. That's E.J. Henderson.
Yeah, E.J. Henderson's going to get the credit for that tackle. But when you have the 2 Williams inside and Pat Williams working the nose against Ryan Khalil, which is going to be a tough matchup for that second-year center all day long, he just strings that along and just eats up so much space that allows E.J. Henderson to run free.
He led the team last year in tackles with 155, and he led the team in sacks.
And this is where it's hard for an offensive lineman in this dome on third down. It's so loud you can't hear the snap count.
3rd and 10. Plenty of time. Muhsin Muhammad. Muhammad is going to have to fight for that first, and a gang of purple is there. He's going to be about 4 yards short. And that'll bring on John Casey for the field goal attempt.
And if you're the Carolina Panthers, you're going to have to earn everything you get today against this defense. They're a little bit vulnerable in the secondary with the big plays, and that's where they're going to try to go after them. But that front seven, as good as the front seven that you will see all year in the NFL.
So John Casey, he's been perfect thus far, 6 for 6. This will be from 43 yards out. It's up, looks straight, plenty of distance, and the Panthers go up early, 3-0 here in Minnesota.
Welcome to Southwest Airlines.
Thanks. I need to check this bag. How much is that going to cost me?
There's no charge on Southwest, sir.
Hallelujah! Well, I have another one, and I'm sure I'll have to pay for that.
Actually, your first 2 checked bags are free.
Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah!
On Southwest Airlines, we don't believe in charging for things that should be free. So what you see is what you pay. Low fares, no hidden fees.
What if every ATM was free? No more $2, $3 fees. No more paying to access your own money. It'd be like every ATM in the world was your ATM. The Schwab Bank High Yield Investor Checking Account. 0 ATM fees, a great interest rate, no minimums. And it's FDIC insured. The Schwab Bank High Yield Investor Checking Account. The biggest thing in checking since checks. Open an account at 1-800-4-SCHWAB or schwab.com.
This premiere isn't for everyone, just for people with taste. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, you just had a little, something.
Family Guy season premiere 1 week from tonight on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees.
So the nice return by Stewart sets up good field position. Carolina gets up early. This is Reese Lloyd, brought in last year, the final game of the season. He is the kickoff specialist. So the Panthers are holding 3 specialists, kickers on their roster. That's Chester Taylor. He is now the backup running back, but he is handling the kickoff return duties. They like the way he returns the ball, sees the holes very well, and they're hoping for some production. Taylor, there's a hole, and that's a nice return. Taylor out past the 30-yard line. Gus Frerotte, 37 years old, back in a Viking uniform. He was a starter here, if you remember, back in 2003 and 2004. The team's oldest player, and he got the nod on Wednesday, Tony. They, like you said, Tavares Jackson not taking advantage of some of the opportunities they felt.
And watching him throw in practice on Friday, he still has a big arm and can make every throw. His arm was impressive Friday.
Fakes to Peterson, and that's a completion right off the top. Asante Shenko, brought in last year from the New York Giants, and that's Tavares Jackson, third-year man out of Alabama State. A high draft pick, Tony, second-round pick. But they felt like they weren't getting the production they needed.
Well, they felt like he was trying to be perfect, pressing too much, and really kind of holding the ball a little bit, trying to make sure it was there instead of just reacting. And Childers saw it in his eyes and knew he had to make a change.
Play is stopped. False start. Number 28 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's on Adrian Peterson. Brad Childress, his third year as Vikings head coach. He said he made that move on Wednesday. Hedged his bet a little bit. Told the press, well, no changes on Monday, no changes. Tuesday, no changes. Wednesday morning, we got to change.
Well, I think after we watched the film and realized that the investment that's been made in this team, and they're 0-2, that something had to be done.
Peterson, a marker is down in the backfield, but Peterson is out across the 40-yard line. We'll check that marker. Richard Marshall brings him down. He got 12, but this could be coming back.
Holding. Number 62 offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
That's the right tackle, Ryan Cook.
Outside play to the left. Ryan Cook, the right tackle, is going to try to cut off. I believe that's Damian Lewis. And just ends up tackling him.
Oh, I don't know, Tony. I've seen worse than that.
Yeah, and actually that was Tyler Brayton he was tackling. A lot of the times you get away with that because they feel like maybe you're just falling on the guy's back of his legs. But he kind of reached that left arm out, and I think the officials saw him hook him a little bit.
Oh, Minnesota hurting themselves early here with penalties, as you just saw. Gun formation, second and long. Seam route, ball knocked away. Is it a fumble? No. Incomplete pass. Chris Gamble putting the wood to Vasante Shenko, and he gave it up.
Well, and that's been a problem for Vasante Shenko. Last week he dropped a touchdown pass, and I don't care who's throwing it, if it's Gus Farad or Tavares Jackson, your receivers have to catch the ball. Great hit by Gamble, and give him credit, but that's a tight end. And when a tight end gets hit by a corner, the tight end needs to hold on to the ball.
Gamble with a fumble recovery in week 1 for a touchdown against San Diego. Making a big play there. This is 3rd and 21. Chester Taylor in the backfield. Plenty of time, dumps it off. Taylor with one move. He's got to get busy. And well short of the first down. That'll bring on the punt team for the Vikings.
Not too many plays for 3rd and 21.
You don't have a call for that,
No,
huh?
I don't think there's that much on Brad Childress' playlist that says, okay, 3rd and 21, we're going to run this. It's almost a give-up play. You just, toss it underneath, and maybe one of your playmakers can make enough people miss to get a first down.
Mark Jones is deep for the Panthers. Signed in September. He was in training camp with the San Diego Chargers. He is an experienced return man. Good punt by Kluwe inside the 15. One move, two moves, and he's out to about the 23-yard line. 55-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. We'll be back.
Summer and fall, they're not that different. You fire up the same grill, rock the same gear, pump the same tunes, and chill with the same beer. Bud Light Lime. Because seasons change, tastes don't. It's the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind anytime. It's in the lime.
You came along all bright and new with big ideas that grew and grew and grew.
The Chrysler Town & Country with 25 highway miles per gallon. Fuel economy that's unsurpassed by any man.
Big ideas that grew and grew and grew.
This is how you enter the App Store. And this is how you browse over 1,000 new apps. And this is how you download one, right to your phone. And this is when you realize.
你可以推荐一个饭馆吗?
This is going to change everything.
In the fight to protect John Connor, there will be casualties.
You're sitting on a bomb.
All new Terminator, tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light Lime, the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of a 100% natural lime flavor.
3-0 Carolina early here in the first quarter. The Carolina Panthers 2-0, looking for their first 3-0 start since 2003, and Panther fans will remember that was the Super Bowl year. Incomplete. A quick shot out to Steve Smith. And Antoine Winfield is there.
Ron, you know, every week we look at a matchup that'll go a long way in deciding who wins this game. It's called the game within the game, and today it's Jared Allen, the big free agent acquisition out of Kansas City, the pass rush specialist, against Jordan Gross, one of the better left tackles, one of the more athletic guys at that position in the league, and it's going to be a great matchup. Jared Allen is an all-day sucker. Jordan Gross better be ready.
The dump off to Williams. Williams can't quite turn the corner. Ben Lieber is there, pickup of 6.
Sitting down talking to Jared Allen, one of my favorite guys I've sat down with so far. You can when you talk to him, he respects the game. It's really important to him how people view him and how he plays it, if he plays it right or not. He's the guy who plays with all kinds of tenacity. He's physical, and he understands the history of the game and his place in it.
And this is where he usually comes alive. 3rd and 4. He's up top. Man-to-man. Pressure, and it sails high. Good pressure, good defense down the field. Ellis Wims applied the pressure, and that'll bring on the punt team for Carolina.
And Jared Allen's going to come all day, and you can see Jordan Gross looking at the ball, going on a silent count, and he's just relentless. And he benefits from the inside push from Kevin Williams and Ellis Wims on that play. They really get good pressure inside. You see Ray Edwards down right there, the other defensive end who closes out as well, getting up. Looks like he's all right. But that front four, it's going to be a long day for that Carolina Panther offensive line. And I've been in these games before, and you just got to hang in there. You can't get down if something bad happens because you're playing against a really good unit. Keep on fighting, and if you hang in there, something good will happen.
And we talked about how loud it can get here. Panthers had a punt block last week. Checking protection. Some pressure there, but a nice kick there by Baker. That's Andre Allison. He calls for the fair catch at the 18-yard line. 53-yard punt. Vikings ball when we come back.
Introducing the all-new Dodge Journey with the most innovative features. 3rd row seating, DVD player and gaming outlet, 5-star crash test rating, and the best fuel economy in its class. It's the crossover that's ready for anything. The all-new Dodge Journey. If you can dream it, do it.
Hey, Mr. Sunlight, gonna outshine your bright. It's just the beginning of a happy go fun day. Happy go fun day. I'm feeling kind of Sunday. Sunday. Feeling kind of Sunday. Sunday. Feeling kind of Sunday.
I'm so there.
When you're there, State Farm's there for the best day of the week.
All right, your business. Well, say you want to improve customer service and to keep your overall budget in line. Well, with UPS, you have the options to control the speed and the cost of your shipping. They have more express shipping options than anyone, from 2 days to same day. It's whatever speed you need. It's not just your business. It's your business with UPS. Whoa, that was close.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Dodge, introducing the all-new Dodge Journey. If you can dream it, do it. Dodge, grab life. By State Farm, you're there, State Farm is there. Proud sponsor of the NFL and the best day of the week. And by DirecTV, now get over 130 of your favorite channels in HD.
Panther head coach John Fox, his 7th year as Panthers head coach. A nice start, and he said last night in the meetings, of course, we didn't expect to jump out to this type of start. You always welcome it, but when you lose a guy like Steve Smith, and that of course was a team-imposed suspension, you just can't expect it. Thus far, he's happy with the way things have gone. Another marker is down, but a completion inside. That's Bobby Wade. Nope. Bernard Berrien.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact. Defense, number 58. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st and 10.
Thomas Davis. And so that will keep the play live. And a look at the Carolina Panther defense. Tyler Brayton brought over from Oakland this year. Julius Peppers, he moves to the other side. He'll rush from that right end spot. We'll keep an eye on that. John Beeson, a force inside, the leading tackler last year as a rookie with 160. Another pass wide open, and Farrat misses it. That's Garrett Mills. Let's go to Los Angeles for our first game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
And our first touchdown of the day, Arizona against Washington. The Redskins take it down the field on their opening drive. Clinton Porter scores from 3 yards out. Washington on top, 7-0. But it's still early. I don't have to remind you, Ronnie and Tony.
It's early. 9:15 here in the first quarter. Anything could happen. Taylor in the backfield. Play action to Taylor. Looking deep, intercepted. Dropped by Berrien, intercepted by Gamble. And Gamble is inside Viking territory. The Panthers' first interception of the year. And Chris Gamble does the honors. And we'll be back. Great field position once again for the Panthers.
Ready? Yeah. Oh. Las cremas queremos un monstruo chavo. Las cremas.
Introducing the all-new Dodge Journey, the crossover with the best fuel economy in its class.
Hey! Las queremos un otro juego. Vamos lá. She's like, get your stuff.
Hello, I'm a PC, and I've been made into a stereotype.
I'm a PC, and I'm not what you call hip.
I'm a PC, and I wear glasses.
I wear glasses.
Hey, I wear glasses.
I wear jeans, and I study jeans.
And I design jeans.
And I design green buildings.
I'm a PC, and I study the law.
And I practice the law.
And I challenge the law.
I'm a PC, and I blog for Obama. And I broadcast for McCain. And I have a beard.
I'm a PC and I have 3 rings.
I'm a PC and I have 1 ring.
I turn number 2 into energy. I'm a PC and I want to protect peace.
I'm a PC and I'm connected to more than 1 billion others worldwide.
Roger that, Houston. I'm a PC.
And my name is Roger. I'm a PC.
I'm a PC. I'm a PC.
Yeah, I'm a PC too.
I'm a PC and a human being. Not a human doing, not a human thinking, a human being.
I'm a PC and I sell fish.
On September 23rd, the greatest films of all time are finally available on Blu-ray High Def. The Godfather Coppola Restoration. Own it on DVD and Blu-ray High Def September 23rd.
Carolina with the most takeaways since they came into the league in '95, and Chris Gamble now with 18 career interceptions. That is second all-time in franchise history. Boy, that's doing a lot for a guy that's only been in the league for 5 years. 1st and 10. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw a shot down the field early here. Nope, they'll hand it off in the backfield. That's Williams. He gets away from Pat Williams and somehow made something out of that. He got 7. Let's go back to the interception.
Ron, let's look at this. They're going to run a little crossing route early with Wade and Berrien. And Berrien's going to sit down inside the zone as Bobby Wade runs them off. Runs a little out pattern here, and the ball's delivered a little bit behind him, but it's a ball he has to catch. I mean, Bernard Berrien's a good receiver, and it's not going to be perfect every time, and that wasn't that far off. And you can't, if you're not going to catch it, you can't tip it up and let someone, it's too easy for the defense.
If you can touch it, you better catch it. That's the rule. Fake the end around, they give inside to Williams. Williams, the number 27 pick overall in 2006. A little bit of outshadowed a bit by Jonathan Stewart last couple weeks. And check out the offensive line.
Yeah, we talked about, and this is what they need to do, because you don't want to get into a passing game in this dome because it's so loud, and they get good push against those 2 big guys inside. Listen, as an offensive lineman, I don't care how good that defensive is and how good a run defense is. You have to establish that to give yourself a chance throughout the game.
3rd and 1. Stewart going nowhere. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. E.J. Henderson, a loss of 3. And that'll bring on the punt team for Carolina.
Watch E.J. Henderson on this play. Great job as a middle linebacker of reading the counter. And he doesn't over pursues too much, sits down, reads his keys.
That's a great job, Tony. You're right.
And then fires right through the first opening he sees. Great play by that guy right there. And if you're an offensive lineman, you better get 3rd and 1 or you're going to be throwing the ball.
Baker will try to kill this one inside the 10. Allison is deep. Allison fair catches it at about the 6-yard line. So Carolina can't take advantage of the interception. Minnesota ball when we come back.
One more time.
I was eating, and then I reached into my pocket and found all this extra money.
Reverse pickpocketed.
Yeah.
Description?
Tall, lots of bling.
You got a reverse
That's it.
right there?
Down
right
there, yeah.
Sure.
That's it.
Hey, excuse me. You stop. Hands on your crown.
Easy.
Hey.
Are you okay? Hey.
Beware, this man could put extra money in your pocket.
Grab a new BK wrapper morning, noon, and night. The King's got all-day value, all wrapped up.
3. Number of people who can track packages using mental telepathy. Number of people who are tracking packages using FedEx Mobile. FedEx.
I think 5 straight championships speak for themselves. The Paducah Palookas, the Howler Monkeys, none of them were any match for me.
The new Samsung Series 8 with InfoLink. When you get real-time sports and weather updates right on your TV, imagination lives.
Week 5, 2007. Giants on the brink of going 2-3, knocking on mediocrity's door. But then Eli connects on a 53-yard touchdown pass. And you?
Probably missed it because you only get 4 games on cable.
There's only one way to get every game every Sunday. NFL Sunday Ticket, only from DirecTV. So who's Eli going to pump fake into submission this season? Your mom?
Switch now and get 4 months of our best TV package for free.
Church says, crush your fantasy opponents. Drop knowledge bombs on them. It's free from me.
Fantasy victory.
Homer's charged and ready.
Take the taser out of your pants.
No, it looks cool.
The Simpsons premiere is finally here, 1 week from tonight on Fox.
And a quick look at the play selection for Minnesota. They had the one run by Peterson that was wiped out because of a penalty. Other than that, it's all in the air. And that was Vikings offensive coordinator Gerald Bevel. Peterson, not a lot. Well, this Tuesday on Fox, don't miss a new episode of the most talked about new series of the season, Fringe. Imagine the possibilities this Tuesday after House only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Vikings just got their first run, but the 6 passes in a row were really pass-heavy. Shows the confidence they have in Gus Frerotte, and he's had some guys running down the field open. Now they just got to connect.
Second and 7. Frerotte waiting. It didn't clear. It clears inside. There's a first down, and that's Bobby Wade.
And those are the plays they needed Tavares Jackson to make, the routine plays. I loved how Brad Childress said, we're not making the routine plays routinely right now. And Gus Frerotte does a good job of being patient. This is where the veteran comes out. Looking, scan the field, didn't see it front side, and had the composure to go backside to Bobby Wade.
First and 10, 13 yards on the reception. Peterson runs into a wall. And that wall is Tyler Brayton. Let's go to Los Angeles. Another game break. Kurt Menefee.
Well, following an interception thrown by Matt Castle, the Dolphins turn it into points with a direct snap to Ronnie Brown. He takes it in from 2 yards out, and the Dolphins lead the Patriots early, 7-0. Let's get it back to Ronnie and Tony.
A loss of 1 on the play. I would say that Brayton is in the right place at the right time on that one.
That looked like it hurt. Adrian Peterson running downhill like that. What a collision.
Second and 11. And Peterson showing the strength there. Tried to get the cutback. Julius Peppers wouldn't let him have all of it. But still looks like a nice game. A pickup of 8.
Watch Julius Peppers on this play. Does a good job of standing up Shanko. And at this point, he's getting carried, but he's trying. Look at him rip the ball. We talked to Chris Harris yesterday, and that's what they're trained to do, is go after the ball. Once you get a guy stood up, try to create turnovers. And we saw the stat earlier that they had the most turnovers since 1995. That's one of the reasons why.
3rd and 3. And it's incomplete. Looked as though Ken Lucas got a hand on it. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And that's one thing Gus Frerott's going to do. He has so much confidence in his big arm, he's going to try to force things at times. I thought he had Bernard Berrian running underneath for the easy throw for the 1st down. Saw the cover 2, the high safety, and saw a little bit of a window there, Ron, and tried to hit it in there. You've got to be careful. Sometimes the big arm quarterback will take chances, and sometimes those chances don't pay off.
Chris Cluey will punt it away to Mark Jones. Not a great punt. In fact, Jones will have to let it take a bounce, didn't field it. At about the 25, maybe got 4 out of it. Well, next week, our Fox NFL action begins with the 4 Drive 1 Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. Then, the first game of our doubleheader action. Some of you will see the Falcons and Panthers, the Vikings and Titans, or the Packers and the Buccaneers. Our second game, the Redskins and the Cowboys. That's all coming your way next week on Fox.
Getting Jake Delhomme back for this Carolina offense was so critical. They had the 4 quarterbacks last year, and I thought it was amazing and a great job by John Phelps' coaching staff to get 7 wins. But this guy right here is the heartbeat of this franchise. He has all the intangibles and just brings something extra to the Panthers.
Looks for the crosser. There it is. That's Jeff King. And King will be very close to a 1st down. Nice pickup coverage there by the linebacker Greenway. That was good for 9.
And that's just the type of play he makes. I mean, it doesn't look pretty. We watch him on films like, this guy doesn't look great doing it. But
that's his M.O.
He just makes plays. I mean, he's a guy that as a lineman, as a teammate, you want the huddle with you. He has that moxie about him. He's a leader, and he's going to find a way to make something good happen.
And every guy you talk to on this team, they just beam with confidence when you mention the word Jake Delhomme. Williams inside. He's got a 1st down. Let's get to know the guy we keep talking about here, Jake Delhomme.
You can probably tell by the way I talk, I have a pretty thick accent, and that would be a Cajun accent. And so I have to really kind of say my words through so the guys can truly understand. My passion is racing thoroughbred racehorses. I have a stable now, and we run under the name of Set Hut. It gives me a nice release when I come back in the off-season.
And he does look like Jim Carrey. His teammates have teased him about it over and over again.
He's got the Jim Carrey haircut.
1st and 10. But plays like that, nothing funny about it. That's Steve Smith. And Steve Smith has a 1st down. It's funny talking to Steve Smith before the game. He said, can you do me a favor and make sure you call me Steve? There's some announcers out there that have been calling me Steven. My real name is Steve On. You don't have to go about Steve On. Just do Steve, okay?
Make a play like that, I'll call you whatever you want. I mean, let's just put it this way. Steven, Steve On, Steve. This Carolina Panther team and Jake Delhomme is just happy to have Steve Smith back. And you can see why. I mean, he has 2 early catches, but it's not just the catches, but what he does after the catch and how explosive he is with the ball.
Williams looking for the corner, and a Superman move by E.J. Henderson.
E.J. Henderson is having a fantastic year so far. Watch him flow over the top, and he doesn't run through the blocks this time. He leaps like Superman, which you said.
Wow.
And what a great athletic play. one of the guys who probably doesn't get enough credit on this defense is E.J. Henderson.
A loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Fumble. Recovered by the Vikings. Looks like Ben Lieber got it.
The center exchange, it's Kedrick Vincent, the right guard, trying to pull left, and Jake does. I think that has to be on the quarterback. The quarterback's got to get out. He has to know that that play is going to his left and that he has a pulling guard and has to be quick getting out.
And you could see Vincent's hand hit it as Delhomme is trying to pull away. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Taylor in the backfield, along with Tahid. Play action. Knocked away. What a collision. Chris Harris, he's had a lot of them lately. He separated the ball from Bobby Wade.
I mean, I like the aggressiveness of this Viking offense, but I don't like that they're getting away from who they are.
Run game.
They're a running team. I mean, right now it's like watching, you know, the Colts or the Patriots last year where they're going to throw the ball, you know, 50 times. They can't get away from Adrian Peterson. And maybe it's his hamstring right now. I don't know what it is, but they are pass heavy so far.
The #1 rushing offense in the NFL last year. Not running it today. That intended for Taylor, incomplete.
And now you put yourself in 3rd and 10, you have to throw the ball.
Tony, do you think maybe Adrian Peterson's hamstring is a lot worse than anybody anticipates?
Well, if it is, that's fine, but then run Chester Taylor. Let's not forget, this guy's pretty good himself. This was the best tandem, the best duo last year, and when Adrian Peterson was hurt with the knee, Chester Taylor came in and had multiple 100-yard games.
Peterson last year, Taylor, with 844 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns and only 8 starts. 3rd and 10. Carolina showing blitz, and they bring the safety, and it gets home. Godfrey. That's the rookie out of Iowa. And the Bluebirds coming out here in Minnesota.
Brad Childress has played against the John Fox defense before and knew that they were going to be very aggressive and come after them today. And when you don't run the ball earlier on and you get in 3rd and 10, then you allow the defense to get much more exotic in their blitz and take some chances because they can force the underneath throw by pressuring you with more than you can block.
And that was Godfrey along with Thomas Davis, the outside linebacker. They showed the blitz early, walked up, and they just couldn't get him blocked. And that's Davis there, slow to get up, but he does get off the field. 3-0 Carolina. That leads the NFL. But the question is, just how healthy is that hamstring?
Well, he's not getting a lot of reps right now, which is not the identity of this Minnesota Vikings team. The only thing I can think of is that Brad Childress and Darrell Bevell wanted to come out and establish that they were going to throw the ball down the field and hopefully open up the run game a little bit more as the game goes on.
Cluey to punt it away. Mark Jones deep. And Jones will field this one inside the 10. Barely gets out to the 15. 54 yards on the punt, 9 yards on the return. Well, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, you'll see one of these games, all of them having playoff implications. The Yankees and Red Sox, the Cubs and Brewers, the Marlins and Mets, Indians and White Sox.
Ronnie, the Brewers are falling apart. They fired their manager this past week. Looked like a lock for the wild card, and now they're at risk of not even making the playoffs at all.
Stewart in at tailback for the Panthers. He gets the call, and he's still going. There's the power of Jonathan Stewart, brought down by Darren Sharper. Stewart, the 13th pick overall out of Oregon. They drafted him even though he had toe surgery just after the combine.
And they're running right at that Minnesota Viking defense, showing no respect at all for the size in the middle. And Jonathan Stewart, looking at him yesterday as we met with him, I mean, he's just one big ball of muscle. I mean, there's no fat on the guy. He has arms the size of, a linebacker. He was an impressive young man to talk to, and he's run the ball so physically all year.
That's the end of the first quarter. Panthers up 3-zip. Fox NFL Sunday continues with Grigsby. Going deep as we start the second quarter, intended for Muhammad, incomplete. Griffin along with Tyrell Johnson on the coverage. A look at the first quarter numbers.
And penalties are the only thing that really stand out as the difference, and really that led to the 3 points. We had that early turnover. It was the pass to Steve Smith, if you remember, then the face mask that got them into field goal range. So really, the difference, you can see the turnovers are even, but the difference right now is the penalty.
And a Viking is injured. That's Cedric Griffin. He's down on the 46-yard line. The Vikings 46. He walked back to the huddle and all of a sudden just collapsed. So we'll check on Griffin when he comes back. When we come back. Charles Gordon checks in for the injured Griffin. 3rd and 1. Just got it. That's Brad Hoover, the fullback. And I think that took a 3rd and 4th effort.
Well, that was all Brad Hoover. It was like a pinball in there, bouncing off people, and it looked like at the start he was going to lose yardage going into the middle of that big Viking defensive line. You see Kevin Williams hitting first, Jared Allen. I mean, the whole team had a chance at him, and Brad Hoover just had a little bit more will on that play.
As we start the second quarter, the first 3rd down conversion of the game by either team. Griffin is back in. That's Stewart for a couple. Let's go to Los Angeles. Game break time. Here's Kurt Menefee.
And we're going to double dip for you, Bears and Bucks. Brian Greasy hooks up with Ike Hilliard for 7-6. Tampa Bay lead. Then in Atlanta, Michael Turner takes it in from 4 yards out. Matt Ryan and Roddy White just hooked up for a 70-yard touchdown. And Atlanta has a 14-0 lead over KC. Back to Minnesota and Ron, Tony, and Carissa.
The Falcons with a new quarterback and a new attitude. Matt Ryan, the new face of the franchise. 2nd down and 8. Plenty of time for DeLome. Looking deep, wide open is Steve Smith. Steve Smith has been productive so far. And that's a 1st down for Carolina as they work inside Viking territory. 28 yards on the play.
There's the big play ability of Steve Smith. And they're going to get in the zone. And Steve Smith just runs through the zone. And the rookie, Tyrell Johnson, needs to react much quicker. Antoine Winfield lets him go. But Tyrell Johnson has to understand something. If you see Steve Smith come across your zone, you better close the gap quickly because that's where they're going with the ball.
1st and 10, ball at the 41-yard line. That's Stewart, and Stewart pounds inside it, and he's still going. A good pickup on 1st down. And going back to Steve Smith, of course, you remember Steve Smith was suspended for 2 games, suspended by John Fox. That was a team suspension for fighting with teammate Ken Lucas. Actually injured Lucas. Hit him in the nose, caused some damage, and John Fox said, listen, I got to draw a line somewhere. That's the 2nd suspension on Steve Smith in his career. So Smith sat out for 2 weeks, worked out with the personal trainer, tried to stay in shape, and waited for his return. That's Stewart once again. For more on Steve Smith, let's go down to Carissa Thompson.
How excited you guys think that he is to be back out here? He was here at the field 3 hours before the game. He showed me a printout. He was running through his various plays. He had certain ones highlighted, and he was very short and specific about the fact that he is here to play football. He's not going to overthink anything. He's just going to play.
That's exactly what he expressed to me before the game. Just come out and play. Don't worry about whether the team would be better without me since they started 2-0 and all that stuff. Just play. 3rd and 6.
And he's matched up at the bottom of the screen on Cedric Griffin. That's a matchup that favors.
Going to the corner route, and it's well covered, but there's a flag. Looking for DJ Hackett. Charles Gordon was on the coverage, but the back judge threw the marker.
interference. Number 41, defense. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
That's Charles Gordon. He's going to grab. Ooh. That's a little ticky-tack, but they called him for that push-off with the arm, pushing DJ Hackett down, and I'm not sure that ball would have been catchable anyways. I can see why if you're Jake Delhomme, you're happy, but if you're Charles Gordon, you're a little frustrated with that because a lot of times that won't get called, kind of hand fighting like that.
The side judge, Keith Washington, actually made the call. That ends up being a 20-yard penalty. 1st and 10 for the Panthers inside the 20-yard line. Movement early. Here's John Perry.
False start. Number 79 offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the rookie Jeff Otop, the number 19 pick overall from Pittsburgh.
And he's going, golly, it's loud in this place. What do you expect me to do? I can't hear anything else.
Well, Tony, what's it like? I mean, we've played here. I've played here, but you're a tackle with the opposing team.
Let me sum it up like this. I played here once and never wanted to come back.
It can be absolutely deafening here in the Metrodome.
John Randall might have had something to do with that as well.
A little bit. Looking for the end zone. That ball is tipped coming out. Intended for Muhsin Muhammad, but someone got a finger on it.
And that's big Pat Williams who got his hand on the ball. And even if you don't get there as a defensive lineman, you can see the push he's getting. Little hands in the face on Ryan Khalil. But get your hands up. And the defensive line, even if you don't hit the quarterback, but just getting that push into his face and getting your hands up can disrupt the whole passing game.
Second down and 15. The draw to Williams. He's going backside. Foot race. And Allen shows that speed and chases him down. He picks up 6. Tony.
Jared Allen working against Jordan Gross. Jordan Gross looking at the ball to make sure he stays on the snap count, and they're trying to influence him. That's what you'll do. Go right at the best pass rusher and try to get him up the field and run underneath him. But Jared Allen, a smart player, he watched a ton of film, read his keys well, and then shows the athletic ability really to run down. He had the angle to run down D'Angelo Williams to stop it from a much bigger game.
Williams might have been complaining about a potential horsepower there. First time for either team inside the red zone as Delhomme calls timeout with a 3rd and 9 coming up.
That's the first charge timeout, Carolina.
Play of the drive coming up here on this 3rd and 9, and man, is it loud.
And this is where, as an offensive lineman, you have to keep your composure, look at the ball. This is where it's tough. This crowd is the 12th man right now.
Ray Edwards checks back in at the defensive end position for Minnesota. Complete. That's the tight end Rosario, and he's down to the 2-yard line. And more importantly, that's a Carolina first down.
Hey, great play by Jake Delhomme. Great play by Dante Rosario. Give them all the credit. But watch this offensive line. It doesn't get any more difficult than this on the road where you can't hear and you're playing against a really good defensive front. And that was as clean as a pocket as you'll get on the road. 3rd down, Jake Delhomme could step up. Hats off to that offensive line.
And Delhomme, being Delhomme, looking very cool in the pocket. 1st and goal. This is Stewart. Stewart is in for the Panther touchdown. Stewart's 3rd rushing touchdown of his career.
Ron, we talked about this Minnesota Vikings, the most physical team in the NFL defensively. I've just watched the Carolina Panthers run right at them, running right at Jared Allen right there. Jeff King just finishing his block. Carolina Panthers saying, okay, you want a physical game, we're going to bring the physicalness to the Vikings. We talked about at the top, they had to match their intensity, and so far they have.
Casey tacks on the extra point. So the Carolina Panthers drew first blood. and they continue to draw. 14-zip. 10.
This is how you enter the app.
Nothing Carolina Panthers. Got a little ahead of myself there. And a big play in that drive, Tony, the pass interference on Gordon.
And a questionable one. I mean, you were a defensive back.
Yeah.
If you play like that, you sure don't expect a flag, do you?
You'll probably get a plus on the film grading session from your coach. So Lloyd kicks this one into the end zone. We do have a marker down back upfield. It's usually an offsides. John Perry has been busy this first half.
Offside on the kicking team, number 25. They've elected a re-kick after a 5-yard penalty.
So they'll re-kick it. John Fox's Panthers last week beat the Chicago Bears 20-17 for their second come from the behind victory. And the key point, which everyone keeps bringing up, is another win without Steve Smith.
And then Steve Smith shows up today and has been a huge part of this, making big catches and is making his presence felt very early in the game.
Timeouts on the scoreboard. Carolina
and it's interesting,
has
Tony,
2 timeouts remaining.
You talk to a lot of the players here with Carolina. A lot of them have gone as far as to mention that this feels like the 2003 Super Bowl year, the guys that were there during that time.
Well, and John Fox said he really likes his team. He said he learned something about it when he suspended Steve Smith, how they responded. And after talking to John Fox, I know it's worked out now, and they're 2-0, so everyone's happy. But I think he earned a lot of respect from his team when he did suspend Steve Smith. Steve Smith's the best player on this team. Biggest playmaker, one of the best receivers in the NFL. He made a mistake, and John Fox wasn't afraid to penalize his best player. And I think the locker room really rallied around him, and you've seen how they responded to the adversity. And John Fox says that taught him so much about this team.
So Lloyd, the Minnesota native, went to school, University of Minnesota, kicks it again. This will be Taylor. Taylor doesn't even get out to the 25-yard line. 9:50 here in the first half. Vikings ball when we come back. As we promised, and speed on defense, well, they have not disappointed thus far.
And they've been more intense and more physical so far than this Minnesota Vikings offense, and they've given their offense multiple opportunities because of the turnovers.
Here's what's a little staggering. Minnesota with only 13 total plays, Tony, and Adrian Peterson has been involved in only 3 of them. There's Peterson here. And he's inside for a good first down gain. Damian Lewis with the tackle.
And if I'm Brad Childers and Darrell Bevel, this is what I do. I'm down 10-0. I've tried to establish the pass with Gus Frerotte coming in for Tavares Jackson. But listen, the bread and butter of this team is Adrian Peterson. I mean, first down, you get 6 yards. You need a heavy dose of him right now. Get him in the game. Let's get him warmed up a little bit.
A pickup of 7. They get him going again, looking for the first down. It'll be a close mark. We'll see how they measure it. Let's go down to Carissa Thompson.
Well, you guys mentioned how loud this place can be, and I'll tell you, it's quite the opposite on the Minnesota sidelines. I was keeping an eye on Adrian Peterson while the defense was on the field. He almost looked lethargic, you guys, watching the game from the bench, and when the offense had to take the field, he shook his head almost to kind of wake himself up.
Well, they need him to wake up. I mean, if he's sleeping, they're in big trouble.
Yeah. Give him the ball, he'll wake up. And that'll wake you up also. That's John Beeson. That's a nice little pop, but Peterson good enough for the first down.
Yeah, you notice how he fell forward still? I mean, that's what the great runners do. They fall forward. Beeson making a good play, scrapes over the top, and meets Peterson right at the line of scrimmage. But he still falls forward. He's such a big physical back, still falling forward for the first down.
Really had one of the greatest rookie seasons in NFL history. Over 1,300 yards rushing. Offensive rookie MVP. Went to the Pro Bowl. And with the MVP there's a cut. Almost turned the corner completely. Thomas Davis rounded him up, but he got 6.
And he's one of the rare backs that can do both. He can run physical and abuse you down in and down out and make it miserable to tackle him by the end of the game. But then he has enough speed to get outside and really press the corner. I think the one thing that he needs to work on, I'm talking to Brad Schroeder, is he needs to take what the defense gives him. Don't always try to hit the home run. Nothing wrong with getting 3 and 4 yards sometimes.
What did he say? Slow to the hole, slow through the hole, and then explode. Patience, 2nd and 4. That should be an easy convert. That's Naufahu Tahi, the 3rd-year man out of BYU. And he converts.
Yeah, you talked about the patience of Adrian Peterson. They moved him back to 8 yards because you were right. It's slow to they want to take your time getting to the hole. Often these young backs will just be sprinting to the line of scrimmage trying to make something happen. But it's slow to the hole, but then fast through. So once you get to the hole, you explode then. And they've had to teach them that. They backed him up because he's such a fast, powerful, and almost an anxious back at time that they've really been preaching patience to him.
And the college running game in Oklahoma, we know what that is. That's downhill football all the way. Get the rock and don't stop running until you get to the end zone. 1st and 10, the check down. That's Taylor. Taylor looking for the 1st down. He's going to be short, but that's a nice gain. Thomas Davis again.
And Minnesota, excuse me, Ron, Minnesota does have has the flexibility and the depth at running back. I mean, Chester Taylor was a big free agent acquisition a couple years ago from Baltimore and is a very fine back in his own right. And having the ability to change the pace, bring him in, he's a good back out of the backfield, is so valuable for the Vikings.
2 tight ends set on the field for the Vikings. Peterson at tail. Peterson, and you could see it slowly happen in this, Tony. I think you alluded to it earlier. As they get the 1st down, he is that type of back. The more he gets it, the better he gets. He gets stronger as the game goes on.
Yeah, he had 29 touches last week, and he keeps on getting better and better. And he's one of the better zone play running backs in the NFL. You can see right there the great vision and patience. He'll push the front side of the hole, and this is where he's gotten better with the patience we were talking about last time, and really allowing the defense to over pursue and then hit that backside crease.
Taylor checks in. Play action, the bootleg. Looks, there's your crosser. He doesn't throw it, and a marker goes down.
Holding. Number 45 offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
John Perry was quick with that one, holding against the Vikings. Let's go to Los Angeles for this update. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Bears and Bucks. Chicago's Kyle Orton hadn't thrown an interception all season until now. He hadn't thrown a touchdown pass all season until now. Unfortunately, Gaines Adams plays for the Bucks. Tampa Bay leads it 14-6. Ron and Tony.
I'm fairly convinced that Orton isn't the answer.
And I don't think he gets credit for the touchdown either to Gaines Adams.
Wait a minute, let me check with our statistician to see if he does.
I don't think that's one that he wants.
Statistician Mitch Smith says no, he doesn't get credit for it. Play clock winding down. They just get it off. Draw. Taylor. And Taylor with a nice gain. That's Gibson. You're talking about 2 guys that set a team record for combined rushing last year, going over 2,000 yards, 2,185 yards rushing. When you can do that, that tells you maybe you put the ball on the ground a little bit more.
Well, they don't need a bunch out of Gus Frerotte.
You don't need anything.
Yeah, I mean, just roll.
All right,
a little change, 3rd and short, be able to complete the easy pass because you have 2 great running backs.
And we've seen some great hits and some guys drop balls in Gus's defense. The play action. Looking deep, it's not there. Underneath, it's there. 1st down. Bobby Wade. Wade dragging all the way across the field until he found a soft spot. 16 yards on the play.
And that is why Gus Frerotte is now the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. You see Bernard Berrian running off the coverage, and then Bobby Wade's going to sit underneath and find the soft spot of the zone. But what is impressive there is Gus Frerotte moving in the pocket. Not great. He's not going to break it out, break a big run, but he moves in that tackle box really well still.
Play is stopped. Vikings tried to get that ball off quick. And Brad Childress is like, wait a minute, what?
Prior to the snap, Carolina called their second timeout.
Carolina called the timeout.
30-second timeout.
Vikings saying no, they didn't get it off in time.
Well, Brad Childress was going to try to catch the Carolina Panthers sleeping. And they had him in transition.
Almost
Carolina
did.
was not lined up properly. They had Ferguson outside, no one covering them. And it was a quick snap by Farrat trying to get the ball. Carolina got the sideline, or somebody got the timeout before the ball was put in play. Because of Adrian Peterson right now.
Peterson in the I formation. They dump it down to Tahi, and a nice tackle there in the open field. That's Chris Harris. The Vikings 0-2, as we mentioned at the top of the game, lost to the Colts last week, 18-15, in spite of leading 15-0 late in the third quarter. And they lost opening day to the Green Bay Packers. Now with their best drive of the game here. 2:50 and counting in the first half. 3 timeouts left for Minnesota. Movement. They got Diggs. That's a free one. It gets knocked away, but a marker goes down as well, and that'll probably be on Diggs.
Offside. Number 53 defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Automatic first down.
Ron, it was interesting that the Minnesota Vikings put the 4 wides out there trying to spread out the Carolina Panthers. Sometimes you'll do that to get some natural running lanes inside. But the Carolina Panthers still don't respect the passing game because they didn't go out and put only 6 guys or 5 or 6 guys in the box. They still crowded the tackle box, crowded the line of scrimmage, and said, listen, if you want to throw the ball, go ahead. But we're not going to respect that pass until you make us.
Second down and 3. The long out route, and it's complete. That's Robert Ferguson working on Davis out there, the linebacker, kind of what you were just talking about, Tony. A pickup of 9.
Gus Farrat might be 37 years old, but he still has a rocket for a right arm.
How about that? That was impressive, wasn't it?
Oh, that was a strike. And we saw it Friday at practice, and boy, that's a long throw, and it got there quick.
Peterson on first down. Peterson looking for the angle. Works inside the 10-yard line. Marshall on the tackle.
And that's what Brad Childress is talking about. He needs to get up into the line of scrimmage instead of trying to dance around. Go downhill.
Time report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They'll have all the latest scores and highlights from around the NFL, plus the Fox Sports ticker with the up-to-the-second stats. 2nd and 6. All right, 5 for 5 on this drive. A little shovel, and it's incomplete. Intended for Taylor, but they couldn't hold on.
And this is where they got to get better in the red zone. It killed them last week, kicking 5 field goals against a Peyton Manning team. You cannot do that. You got to score 7 points. You got to score 6 points and convert the extra point. And it's something Darren Sharper says. Listen, we need a spark, and a spark right now is just us scoring some touchdowns instead of kicking so many field goals.
14th play of the drive, coming up 3rd and 6. The swing. Nope, he throws it back inside, and it's incomplete. At first, it looked like he was going out to Taylor, then went inside. Boo Birds come out as the Vikings will attempt the field goal. That ball was tipped inside. He was going to the swing.
That's Charles Johnson coming, beating Ryan Cook off the corner, trying a little swing pass, get outside and let Chester Taylor work and open in the open field. And Charles Johnson does a good job knowing he's not going to get there. Get your hands up.
This is Ryan Longwell from 28 yards out. He made 4 field goals last week, and he's good here. So the Vikings, with 1:46 to play in the first half, get on the board, and we've got a 7-point game.
Talking about Ryan Wells coming out there, they don't want to see him too much more. They want to score touchdowns, and this is something else they don't want to see too much more of, is turnovers. Gus Farrat's been getting hit, some drops, some tip balls, and then this guy, Steve Smith, boy, he took 2 weeks off and was ready to come out and show that he's still one of the best receivers in the NFL. And then Jonathan Stewart just went right down, right the heart of that Viking defense. And hats off to this Carolina offensive line. They've protected for the most part pretty well in a tough atmosphere here in the Dome. And then they've been very physical. That's what this Vikings defense has built their defense on, is stopping the run. And we've seen them a couple times, especially with Jonathan Stewart, going right at them, running the ball.
So Longwell will kick it away. Jonathan Stewart is standing by back deep. He'll take it at the goal line. Stewart has some speed. Can't turn the corner. Nice play there. That's the backup wide receiver, Robert Ferguson, hustling down for the tackle. So Carolina with one timeout here, 1:40 to play in the first half.
Plenty of time. You got your, Jake Delhomme, a veteran. He's done this a number of times. We saw him do it week 1 against San Diego at the end of the game. You got Steve Smith. You work the sidelines. You have the one timeout. So decent field position. Look for them to try to get some more points on the board.
Nick Goings sets up in the backfield. Pressure on Delhomme. That's Goings. And Goings barely gets out of the backfield.
Now they'll get on the line of scrimmage, run their hurry-up 2-minute offense here. And this is where a lot of pressure's on the front five, the offensive line, because Jared Allen and the rest of the guys have their ears pinned back and they're going to come after you.
2nd and 8. A high one over the middle. That one looked as though it kind of got away from Delhomme. Intended for Smith. Darren Sharper was hanging around the middle.
Now that's the one thing you don't want to do if you're the Carolina Panthers, is turn over the ball and give the Vikings another shot at getting points on the. More times than not, if you throw that ball over the middle of the field, the high one, that's going to go to the other team.
Well, and now with the passes, and not with the first one, but with that one, the clock stops, and Minnesota has 3 timeouts left.
Absolutely. If they don't get the first down here, watch for Minnesota to burn one of their timeouts.
3rd and 8. They bring the corner blitz. Winfield, ball is loose. He picks it up, and he will score. Unbelievable. So the Minnesota Vikings got exactly what they needed from the Carolina Panthers.
And this Minnesota defense, one of the best in the NFL at scoring points. Ron, you said it perfect. Antoine Winfield just coming off the corner on a corner blitz, and no one accounted for him for the Carolina Panthers. And Jake Delhomme, he's a veteran guy. He has to know where that guy's coming. If he has somebody unblocked coming free, that's his responsibility. The offensive line, the backs, are not responsible in most circumstances for picking up the backside corner when he comes. That's on the quarterback.
The 3rd career touchdown for Antoine Winfield. The hard-hitting little corner. And, boy, you could see it forever, Tony. He came off the corner, and you just said, here he comes, here he comes. And Delhomme held the ball and then took the hit.
Yeah, you got to think that the clock was going off in Jake's head, that I got to get rid of this ball, because really no pressure inside, and he just never sees Winfield going. He's about to deliver it, but he's got to pick up something in the pre-snap coverage or seeing the safeties rolled over that way to know that there's a threat of the corner to come. And then the awareness of Antoine Winfield to make the play, ball comes out, and then keep on playing, pick it up, and score a touchdown. And we talked about it being miserable if you throw an interception over the middle of the field. Well, that's worse. I mean, giving up 7 points that way when your defense has played so well all day, and the 14 touchdowns of most of the NFL, they do it both through the intercepted and fumble returns. This defense so often has had to pick up for the offense, and maybe that's the spark that Darren Sharper was talking about that this team needed.
So just like that, we go to a tie game after the Winfield hit. Forced fumble, sack, touchdown. What more could he do? Stewart with a nice game. 57 seconds left.
And Darren Sharper sat down, and you can almost see the frustration in his eyes with us on Friday, saying we're too good, and I'm getting too old. I don't have that many more chances. This is a playoff, possibly a Super Bowl caliber team, and we need to start making plays, and we just need something good to happen. We've had nothing good really happen big play-wise in the first 2 weeks. And I think he was talking about his offense, hoping his offense would do something. But boy, the defense showed up here and getting the 10 points in under a minute, have changed the complete atmosphere in this building and have changed the momentum to their side.
Now they put it on the ground. That's Goings. And Gordon coming off the corner with a big hit.
And if I like this, if you're John Fox, I mean, you just got punched in the mouth, fumble. You know, you're controlling the whole game. It's 10-3, trying to get something else to build on going into halftime. Listen, just hand the ball off. Let's get out of here. Let's catch our composure. Let the building calm down and come out and play a 10-10 ball game in the second half.
That thinking would have been nicer the series before.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20.
Early movement. We talked about the noise.
Well, you talk about it would have been nice to know that earlier, Ron.
Still waiting on John Perry with the call.
And as we wait for him, if you're Carolina, you've been playing so well and protecting and quarterback's not getting hit, you should have confidence to be able to come out and drive the ball in a 2-minute drive.
False start. Number 69 offense. The offense has elected a 10-second runoff. Therefore, please reset the game clock to 14 seconds. Clock will start on the ready for play.
And that's a penalty on the offense, under a minute to play. And that was a 10-second runoff given to Carolina. And there's a pass and a completion to DJ Hackett. So our play clock should be down.
That's the third final timeout, Carolina.
The game clock should have been down to 14 seconds.
Please reset the game clock to 2 seconds. 0-2.
Now the game clock, as you heard from John Perry, down to 2 seconds.
Ron, you talked about the rule of the runoff on a penalty under a minute. It's going to stop the clock. You run 10 seconds off against the offense. But I'm surprised. Usually they'll take a timeout away.
I thought about that.
They had the one timeout. And I got to think that they went and talked to John Fox and said, listen, we'll take the 10 seconds off and keep our timeout.
That's exactly what they said. But that is the rule. And so the Panthers hit with that 10-second runoff on the play, and they just took their final timeout.
And you might be asking, okay, why did they call timeout now? Well, what they did, they got to midfield, and now with Jake's surgically repaired elbow, they can take a shot in the end zone on a Hail Mary and maybe get lucky.
So they go the old Big Ben formation up top. You'll either see the Hail Mary to one of those three or the hook and ladder down below. And guess what? It's neither. It's a sack. That's Kevin Williams. And so that's how it will end. 10-10 tie. We've got a good one. We'll be back with second half action from here in Minneapolis after a short break from your local Fox station.
Next week on the
Panthers 10, the Vikings 10. Well, in the aftermath of Hurricane Ike, there was a tremendous need to help.
Proud sponsor of the...
Welcome back. The great running back Adrian Peterson has a little hamstring issue. See how it goes, folks. Delhomme back. Down the middle, Steve Smith, great leap catch, 28-yard reception, 3-0 Carolina at this point until Jonathan Stewart goes in from 2 yards out, making it 10-3 Carolina. Antoine Winfield back, hits Delhomme, knocks him down, picks the ball up, returns it, touchdown, 10-all, Carolina at Minnesota, tie ball game, Tampa Bay at Chicago. Getting physical, that's Jimmy on the right, slapping Howie on the left, and that's me. Y'all quit that, break it up, boys. Greasy back, looking left, hook, Down Ike Hilliard, wide open, touchdown. 7-3, it is Tampa Bay. Kyle Orton, fake screen left, turn around, and don't do this. 2 interceptions in the first half by Orton. This one by Gaines Adams is returned touchdown, making it 14-6 Tampa Bay, 14-9 now Tampa Bay over the Chicago Bears. Kansas City at Atlanta, single back set. Nobody back there but this man, Michael Turner, 2 touchdowns rushing in the first half, 7-0. Then Matt Ryan to Roddy White. Matt Ryan got an arm. That young rookie out of Boston College hooks up with White, 70-yard touchdown. It's 24-7 Atlanta over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Arizona at Washington. Clinton Portis getting ready to go.